I want to know about the differences with the theater and also working on music videos. And why is like the differences is like? What are the hours like too? Must be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, I hate working on film music videos. Um, so, for example, when I filmed the various music videos for Todrick or my shoot with Olivia Rodrigo, it's usually, you shoot it in like a day, but it's like your call time is, you could be called at 5 a.m. and then learn the routine, have an hour break, they get the extras, they have to do the lighting. A film shoot is probably, I mean, 12 to 18 hours
Mhm.
for 3 minutes. Whereas, like,
Mm.
theater, you rehearse daily to do like a 3 hour show. And film and TV, they're trying to gather a ton of content, but every single shot needs to be set up really, really well. And they have to light it well, and you have to do it a couple times, and you don't know which one they're going to do because you don't have a mirror. You don't know what you look
Mm.
on theater. You're the artist, you're performing your work, you are doing it, you get to decide what you do, you know
Mhm.
you're doing the choreography, but you get to be the one there. For film
Mhm.
TV, the director is really the artist. They get to decide how the message is shown,
Mhm.
Mm.
variety of things. And I don't want to say like we're props in it, but like
Mhm.
lacking that kind of creative control, or like, you shoot 5 takes of something and they get to choose which one of those 5 takes of your face they're going to use, like,
Mhm.
without your input makes no sense to me, because it's not up to you, it's about up to them. And so I just don't like that. I feel
More authentic, right?
it feels inauthentic. I kind of feel like I'm being used, or I'm just like a prop, or like a body that's there, and there's no audience that you're performing for. So
Mhm.
Oh.
no actual connection to, you know, it almost feels purposeless. It's like this is to make money because you're capturing my image to use it somehow. Peter,
Mhm.
I see you enjoying it. Like I know this is giving you something, or like if I see someone like having a bad show or not enjoying it, like I can like kind of modify it and like make it better. But for film TV, I'm just not about that at all. I think that the result of film TV is that you get this video that hopefully is great, and that's really nice to have at the end. Whereas theater is fleeting. It's like it happens in the theater, and that's it. It's gone forever, and you can never
Mhm.
recreate it. So
That's the differences with music video and a theater. With casting
yeah,
as well, is it something similar?
yeah. I think for casting for film TV, you need an agent. Like in New York, it feels much more for theater, uh, open and available that anyone could get cast in it. They're required to
Mhm.
post it on, these certain union boards so that
Yeah.
anyone can come audition for it, to be fair. But for
Mhm.
film TV, there isn't that requirement. So you have to like know the right people. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
then it's like, I don't know, then it gets all political, and it feels like anytime you get work that you're obligated to be thankful for it, that they, were willing to
Mhm.
see you and take a chance or whatever. It's like, no, we should all get the fair chance to be seen, and you should hire the right people to make the best work. And that's how I think theater works, but film TV is just not like that.
Mhm.
Mm.
Because I don't think film TV, no shade, is designed to create the best work. Or you
Mhm.
don't need the best actors to create the best work, because you need the best director to choose whatever shots, and it's because their artistry is going to make the video, not the people themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah, how was it like working with Todrick? Like I was looking at his Todrick Hall. I love his music video because like the cast itself is just like so diverse, different type of colors. I'm just like props to him. How was it working with him?
I am glad that you said that, because a lot of people know Todrick because he's in the headlines a lot for a variety
Mm,
of different negative opinions and shade and drama and
mhm,
whatever. But I agree 100% that one of the things I think he does best is he always is very conscious about having a very diverse company of people in his videos and things. He's always adamant about showing that. And he always, well, for a variety of the things he creates, he will post on his Instagram, which is publicly viewable, hey, I need dancers for this thing. And anyone can try to link up to it. So I think for someone in LA, given that most things you need agents for to get submitted or whatever, he makes it really accessible to be a part of his career, which I think is really creative of. I'll just say I was always paid. I really enjoyed working with him. I know he has drama in the past maybe, but I think that since maybe all that, he really is confident in paying all of his dancers and everything, and anyone that works for him feel confident in working for him.
And this song is so catchy too. Like the Sorry Barbie. I love that.
He's really created a lot of culture for the gays and everything. I think that he's honestly the most creative person I know. And he's probably one of the most talented people I know. Like he was the lead of Kinky Boots on Broadway. Like that's really difficult. And I think that he is really passionate about what he does. And I mean, I think he's really talented. I think some people like can't sing, like they lip sync, and I think some people like can't dance. Like he can really do it, and he can do it like in drag, in heels, and a wig and everything. And I knew him from his YouTube days where he'd create all these, parody YouTubes, and I just really respect how far he has come, and hopefully will continue to go, given that he didn't come from his, parents being record producers or huge, like really famous rich people. Like he really did that himself. He's unrepresented. I really respect him, and I hope he stops getting so much disrespect from people that like to jump on a headline. Like I think it's him. I like Todrick.
How do you so working with Olivia Rodrigo, how was that? Like was that like exciting? I bet like there's a lot of like fangirls right now like listening. It's like, how was working with Olivia Rodrigo?
So when I signed on to do the project, I wasn't told it was her. No one, it was very secret. And we were filming in a studio where all the signs were very secret. It was very hush hush. And when we got there, they were like, we have to zip your phones in these bags. No one's taking any photos, no videos. And that was the day we were there from, I think maybe 11 a.m. to 5 a.m. the next day. So it was just a really long day, which I didn't know. I was told your call time is 11 a.m. That was it. We learned our choreography, and she learned where, she was going to be, and we were, kept pretty separate. Like she has a whole team around her. But what I remember with her is that we didn't get to filming until around 3 a.m. and we shot the whole 6 times in a row. But she sang the whole, and the thing is, when you watch a music video, you hear all this music. None of that music's there. In fact, there's no music at all. There's not a guitar. There's not a piano. There was a click track, because you can't play loud music because of all the neighbors around. You don't want to reveal who's there. And if you were playing music, it would just they're calling all these things. Like the management team is like, okay, cue the pyro, cue the thing. So you can't make any sound really. So the whole music video, it's funny. We're really kind of filming it in silence, but she would sing it loud, and she sounded so good at 3 a.m. 6 times in a row. She sang it perfectly 6 times in a row, and I was like,
wow.
She must have been 18 or 19. I was like, for her to do that, there's very few people I know that could do that. I was like, I thought that was really, really famous.
The professionalism is just another level there.
And the talent, I was like, damn, good for you.
No pun intended.
Man, I couldn't imagine though, dancing and all you hear is just a tick. I mean, it gives you the notes on how to dance and stuff, but a whole day from 11 to infinity.
Yeah. It's literally we learned one dance at noon, and then another one at 1, and then we do it at 3, and then we put her into it. Oh, she doesn't work in this number. Okay, so re-choreograph the first dance. Oh, we're only going to do the second dance now. Okay, it's 7 p.m. Let's do it with the cameras. Oh, let's go back to the first version of the first dance. It's like, it's so difficult because there's so many moving parts and there's so much money involved. I mean, that is truly it, is that like there's all these people who are watching takes of it who like are investing tons of money into it, and so that affects all these things down here. And I'm like, I'm just trying to dance, but it's made way more difficult by all those other things. But she was really, really good. Yeah. And that was the first time I'd worked. I had an in-ear that had the click so I could like do it correctly. But, you know, it was hard, but that's just how it is.
During that time prior to the filming, and when I say action, like, did you guys like rehearse stuff?
We rehearsed it. This was filmed at the USC like track and field stadium.
Oh.
So, and they put up like walls all around it. So we were filming just like literally on the grass. And there was a set area, but when we rehearsed it, we were rehearsing in a different area. So we had to go over, and we had like 10 minutes to kind of space it through. And like, it was this kind of how it is. It's like really fake it till you make it. And this is what gets you hired again. Is like, you can't stand there and be like, where am I supposed to stand? Like, okay, should we stand a foot away or whatever? Like, that's when you have to be smart and be like, I need to get hired again. And so I'm just going to make it work and be perfect. And so you just have to be smart about it and kind of do everything you can to make it as easy as possible. You just have to make your choreographer look as if you've rehearsed it many times, even though there's no way to do it because everything keeps changing. And then suddenly we add the fire, suddenly we add Olivia Rodrigo, suddenly the camera angle changes, suddenly you have a cameraman going this way. Like, you just have to make it work. So I would say we rehearsed throughout that, 12, 16-hour day, but like there was no actual like run of it before we did it.
Going back to your social media itself, like getting to know you as an outside the acting, commercials, music video, looking at your social media itself, it's like wow, like Brian loves like nature, loves activities, loves squirrel, chicken, and dogs, etc. It's just refreshing to see. Oh wow, he's a person. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And not to mention also, you are an entrepreneur as well outside those hats. What inspired to do like the swimwear line?
Yeah.
I love the pastel colors, by the way.
Oh my god, thank you. What happened was, it was during the pandemic, long story short, I actually had a little bit of Bitcoin before anyone else did, like just a little bit. So I had like kind of a little bit of money that I discovered randomly. And that's one part of it. The other part is I was going to the beach every day during the pandemic. I was in Los Angeles, and that was the only thing open. And I realized I didn't like any of my swimsuits, and I wanted to get a new one that was cute. And I ordered a bunch from all these different places. And I was looking online at these designs. I was like, all these designs are horrible. Like, these patterns look like they were designed by someone who was born in the 70s. And like, that's not what I want. And I was like, things I buy are bad quality. And I was like, I just want like a good swimsuit. And so I just kind of designing designs that I liked and picking out colors. And I kind of got to the point where I was like, I could figure out how to make this, right? And I had nothing to do because it was during the pandemic. And I said, well, I'll just do it. Like, I'll just invest a little and work with a company in Los Angeles. And I went through this huge process, which was way more than I realized I was getting into. But I ended up with this small scale production. I like did a small order with this company in Los Angeles that pays all their employees fairly and everything in COVID safe conditions to make swimsuits out of recycled materials that were imported from Italy. It's so soft. It like stay nice. It's recycled from fishing nets rescued from the bottom of the ocean. And I was selling it before Hamilton. and then I kind of got busy with Hamilton, but I'm gonna kind of reopen it and sell the last of what I have, because my whole point was just that like people see me in it, because I really made it for myself. Like I designed the fit on myself and everything, and I just want a swimsuit that is cute, that fits nice, and will last, and like that's really it. And I think a lot of people want that. And it's like not a huge explosive crazy pattern, just like something clean and nice. And so I made
it's
it.
very clean and minimal.
It's just like a nice basic option. You know, everyone needs like a more normal option. And so yeah, I made it, and every time I wear it, people love it and asking me about it. It's called David Swimwear, because I have a lot of great Davids in my life. I just thought David was a good name, like Michelangelo's David. But yeah, no, it's great. A number of people bought it, and I'm excited to kind of relaunch into it.
What's your favorite color of your collection right now?
It's funny because I like some of the colors, but not all the colors look good on me. And that was something I was really conscious about, was that like different colors look different on different people because of their, I guess there's primary tones and undertones or skin tones or whatever.
Yeah.
But oh no, I just posted a photo. Wait, let me find my phone. I just posted a photo.
Is it pink? Is that the recent one? Is it pink?
Yeah, but sometimes if I get a little too sunburnt, then it like brings out the sunburn. But yeah, I like that one, and I like the peach. Well, I love there's this like mint teal color that I just think is so. It's so fresh, like fresh like gum. Like, nice.
It's so refreshing though to have your brown out there, because like it's diverse, very like the color itself is just such a nice color to look at. Like for non-binary like me, I like to have a color a certain way and make my butt look okay, you know, not too like almost like a thong, but you know, it's comfortable. So
that's the thing with swimwear, is that it's always evolving and everything. And my thing with swimwear is just that like it's I dedicated so much work and effort into this, because when you wear a swimsuit, it's the only thing you're wearing. And so I think it says a lot about you. You want to be really comfortable and confident in it. And so I think it's easy to wear. I find it easy to wear my swimsuit because I stand by it. Like, it's not some shitty company. It's not using, you know, slave workers in like factory somewhere. It's like, no, this is a good company, and it's like comfortable and cute, and there's literally nothing I could say bad about it. I love what I made so much.
Wow. Going through all of these phases in life and experiences, like, you know, exposure, like what would you say to yourself back then, like before entering this field?
I would say it has to be something similar to what I said about, like, you know, just like assholes, or just like, no, wait. Something like, everyone has an asshole and everyone has an opinion. I just think that, like, I don't think I was wrong, but entering theater and then entering swimsuits, like, everyone has an opinion. Like, and some people were right and some people were wrong. And I did have a lot to learn in my life, and I continue to learn. But trying to decipher who is trustworthy or not and who's worth listening to is incredibly difficult and changes. And so what I would advise myself is that you're perfect, you're beautiful, you're talented. No, I would just say, like, you have nothing to worry about. Take everyone's opinions and put them in a box and look through them, but don't take it to heart. And really, like, allow yourself the space of patience and time and forgiveness that you will make mistakes as everyone else does. And those mistakes will make you stronger and a more caring and patient and respectful person to other people's mistakes.
I love that. Yeah, it's refreshing to hear from someone like you who is really like established in this, you know, And for like as a person who follows you on Instagram, I think it's just inspirational and humbling to spoke to someone like you, and do you like come to our podcast? So it's like
Oh, I'm glad.
podcast show
Yeah.
too.
No,
It
I'm happy
just
to chat with y'all. And do you have a name for your audience? Are they matcha drinkers?
the matcha lovers, the matcha lovers. We call them the matcha lovers.
Lovers. Love
Yeah.
that.
Have any like name already for your fans or not yet?
No, I don't think so. I'm always shocked when people are watching my content. I'm like, because a lot of what I post on Instagram, I'm like, this is for me to look back on in my archive in like 15 years.
Mhm.
Like, I really, and that's why it's so authentic, in my opinion. It's really not for anyone else. I do think I live my life, as we all do, in somewhat performative way. Like, you dress up when you go outside and whatever. And I think when you dress up, like for a reason to be invited to a party or to be seen by whatever, that's where it gets flawed. But if you're going up and out in your own confident way for your own reasons, if I'm just there taking videos of whatever I want, that's just authentic. And I think that really resonates with people because other people are like that. Like, I love taking, as you said, nature. I love being in nature. I love taking videos of plants and stuff because that is literally like every day I would get on the streetcar to go to Hamilton and Toronto, and I would look at this one bush and be like, oh, like this leaf is sprouting today. Like, oh, now it has flowers. And I think people like to see that. And I think people need to be reminded of that like it isn't about, oh, this person accomplished this. Oh, this person's at this party. Oh, this person at this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's be like, oh no, this is what's actually happening in the world. Like the grass is growing today. Like it's kind of windy today. Like we all kind of need to stop and like take a breath and look at our surroundings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I also remember like in your stories, I think you post this like almost every day where you walk past this corner. It's like a corner. Like every time it's like from a corner to the street, a corner to the street. And I was like, no, this is like yesterday, like this.
What? Yeah, because
Yeah.
every day I'd walk down this corner, right, and I'd get this huge. I was in this big alley, and I'd see this huge view with this smokestack and a couple of tall buildings in Toronto, and then I would turn right into the stage door. But there was always like 5 seconds as I was walking straight, I'd just see this view, and like it changed over the course of my 6 months, and I was like, for some reason, I'm always gonna notice this view. Like, I wasn't really noticing like, the street or whatever, but the weather was different. Like, I liked seeing the smokestack. It was just nice to remind myself of that view. And I kind of figured that at some point I do a time lapse of it. But yeah, I think it's funny because a lot of people really resonated with that. And they were like, oh, like, how was it today? Oh, it's good weather today. Like, people kept responding to it. I was like, that is what resonates with me and with people. It's just like paying attention to your surroundings, I guess. But yeah, you're completely right. I did it like all the time.
And I was
It's
like, maybe he's going to work.
No, literally, I was.
Little things can be like really good for mindfulness too, right? Like such as like that. Thank you so much for coming into our show.
Fine.
Do you have any like? We were really like I'm inside. I'm like I'm screaming right now. Like ah.
Oh, yeah, I'm honored. Thank you for.
You have no idea. Do you have any upcoming projects?
Do I? No, actually, I've now just moved back to New York. We just finished Hamilton, and so I've been a little anxious because it's like, oh, I'm suddenly unemployed for the first time in a while. But I finally moved back to New York. I was living in New York in 2018 before I did Miss Saigon, and then the pandemic hit, and I moved out to LA and did Todrick and Olivia Rodrigo, and then I was about to move to New York. Then Hamilton happened, and then now I'm finally back to New York. So I'm really just excited to settle in here, to remake all my connections, and to grow a bigger and brighter flame than ever before. I'm just really excited to be in New York.
I love that. Do you call your we should call your fans like Brianators, like Arianators or Slanators.
I mean,
You have a name for them already, right? Or not yet? No.
no, not yet. Those people that watch my Instagram.
Thank you so much, Brian, for coming to our show again. I like to hear your stories and stuff. It's just really inspirational too. And I'm excited to buy more of your swimwear
Thank you. No,
before they run out.
I'll make sure it's lit for everyone. It's David Swimwear at David_swimwear on Instagram.
And what's your Instagram?
My
as well?
Instagram is Liebson Bounds at Liebson Bounds. Liebson, which is my last name, is spelled Liebson, and then Bounds. Some people say it's confusing, but I think it's a good pun. I've like had it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to change it to Brian Liebson, but I jump around a lot, so Liebson Bounds.
And your TikTok is so hilarious. Like your videos there. Oh my
Really?
god. Yeah.
I don't know. I need to get more on that. I like watching TikToks more than making them.
We hope you enjoyed our episode of our podcast today.
Before you go, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Matcha Talk_podcast.
Don't forget our TikTok account. It's Matcha Talks. All right. We hope to hear from you soon.
Bye.
Bye.